Don't call it a comeback. Actually, that's exactly what you should call it. Week 2 was full of them.
Back to throw Tua, looking, flips it downfield, wide open! Touchdown, Tyreek Hill! Unbelievable!
That was so awesome for Tua. You know, you guys deserve a break. What's that? They've got the Bills this week? Oh, God, no.
Tannehill takes, guns it, downfield, picked up. Intercepted at the 45-yard line. Picked up, headed to the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, Buffalo. They are rolling him now.
Oh, and the way the Cardinals beat the Raiders, they have got to be feeling great carrying that momentum into... I'm sorry, where? Oh, they play the Rams? Come on!
Back to throw. Survey shoots it right side, Cup at the 10, Cup at the 5, Cup in the end zone! These are the Rams we know and love.
Look, I really didn't want to mention it, but people are starting to call me Captain Comeback. Did you see how well I did picking games last week?
Obviously, the jubilation, everyone's really excited, but it's time to move on.
You know what? I don't really like all this attention. Game Day View presented by Mercedes-Benz starts now.
Hello, everybody. This is Game Day View, and yeah, we don't need to talk about last week. We can just move on.
You seem fine talking about last week. You're loving talking about last week.
I'm Rachel Bonetta, joined as always by Greg Rosenthal and the pumpkin spice latte herself. She's looking beautiful. Cynthia Freeland. But guys, it's not all fun and games right now. Okay, we're a little sad. No Patrick this week, but he is in our hearts, and we kind of have Patrick's spirit over here, okay? He's also in our topic bars. He's made picks. He will be represented throughout the show. And I think a couple Straybon appearances. Is that a tease? Yes, it is. We will see which games he's picking solo dolo. But guys, last week, did the other 30 teams play, or was it just the Dolphins and the Ravens? Because, oh my God, that game was so fun. And look, it's going to happen from time to time. It happened last week. We all look like geniuses for 3 quarters. Okay, let's not forget about those 3 quarters. And then Tua must have gotten a text from Nick Saban and Roll Tide all over Baltimore.
I mean, to Dolphins fans, that's the only game that happened. They were all up in our mentions. Just enjoy your win for once.
Okay, people.
They deserve it. We all picked them. I told you my gut was against them.
They deserve to be miserable going at people that picked against them right afterwards.
No, if they want to do it, who cares?
We were geniuses for 3 quarters. Okay, let's not forget about that. But we are human beings. I know I'm not perfect. Greg is. Whatever, it's fine. I'm coping with it. So I don't know what happened there, but can we just appreciate what an amazing game that was? Speaking of the Dolphins, game of the week time, Tua and Josh Allen, top 5 in passing yards, both tied for the league lead with 7 touchdown passes. The Bills have been unstoppable in both of their games. And against Miami recently, Josh Allen has won 7 in a row against the Dolphins. No big deal. But those Dolphins teams didn't have Jalen Waddle, okay? And Tyreek Hill. I feel like I want to waddle every time I say his name, throwing up peace signs on the way into the end zone. No, they did not. The Bills are favored in this one by 6.5, 5.5. The line's moved. That's a little steep. Patrick likes them by 4. He's going Buffalo 32-28. Greg, what do you think? That line.
I have a similar score, 37-34 Bills. Because Josh Allen, we know he's an unkillable cyborg right now, but he has been an unkillable cyborg every time he's ever played the Dolphins. Even when the Bills offense had some struggles, he was killing them. 36 points per game over the last 3 years against Miami. And people think, oh, well, this is a new coaching step. Well, no, not really on defense. It's the same group. He sees that blitz package coming twice a year. He knows what's coming, and he has answers for it. And so Dolphins fans, I know you're going to be all upset. Oh, you still don't believe in us. Hey, it's supposed to be 5.5 points. I have the Dolphins closer. I think Tua plays well, and it's the game of the week once again. But Josh Allen's too much.
I agree with you on that, and I think he's too much by a full 7 points. I have 28-21.
Now that's truly disrespectful. So you can go after the latte over here.
Correct. Just come after I don't even like pumpkin spice lattes.
Not anymore. It's too sweet.
But come after me. But ultimately, I have a 7-point win here. Why? Because I look at this Bills secondary, and even though they're banged up, right? We've got no Tre'Davious White. We're potentially down Dane Jackson.
He's out. He's out. No Micah Hyde.
Right. So this is a little bit different. However, this is still a unit that has produced at elite rates, just 6 touchdowns to 16 interceptions against downfield passes. Those are 10-plus air yard attempts. They have a 38.3 passer rating allowed. Just so you know, if you throw the ball into the ground, you get like a 40 passer rate.
So that's
you're
worse.
better off throwing the ball into the ground and then to the
Interesting.
secondary. So I think Leslie
something
Frazier will have some answers here, and they have a bunch of depth. They did a nice job drafting for this. They understand Leslie Frazier should have a head coaching job. I will say it over and over and over again until it
You
happens.
did. I saw the tweets.
I know.
I am thinking this is going to be a coin flip. I am more excited about the total in this game because, like you said, the Bills' defense is a little banged up. Tua and Josh Allen, I think between them, they have 10 touchdowns in the last week. Like, these guys are insane. I have the Bills winning 31-30, though. Like, I feel like this could go either way. I totally agree that this is the game of the week. But, Greg and I were talking before the show. And, you can look at the numbers and try to be as smart as you can, but why don't you just go with what you want to happen? And I want chaos to happen.
Okay.
I want this score to be that close.
Here's what I don't want, though, is another meme alert tweet coming at us. So why don't you just pick the Dolphins then? Just switch
Okay,
it.
well, let me say this. I love the Dolphins. They are so exciting. And you know what? I'll switch it. I'll go
wow.
Dolphins.
I
I'll
don't know.
go Dolphins here, baby.
I don't know if
So
they're
now
ready
it's a
for that.
Lonetta.
It's a Lonetta.
Now it's a Lonetta.
Go Dolphins, go. I thought it was going to be a coin flip, but you know what? I'm rooting for chaos. I'm rooting for touchdowns. The defense can take the day off as far as I'm concerned. I want McDaniel rolling up in his Lamborghini or whatever fancy car he has. I'm into the chaos. Okay, it is time for this guy or that guy. Tua had 6 touchdowns last week, okay? Allen had 4, 10 total touchdowns. Do you think either of these guys throws for 4 on Sunday?
Well, nope, I don't.
Oh, come on.
The pumpkin spice latte is the
lot.
killer of fun. Just too many for either person. But I will say I am more likely to see 4 total touchdowns. Maybe one is on the ground, not necessarily through the air, for Josh Allen, who has been absolutely insane using play action so far this season. 5 touchdowns and about an 80% completion rate there for him. So when I look at Josh Allen, is probably a bit more likely. And I can't believe we got through this whole thing without talking about Von Miller. So part of the reason why is because I think that Tua is going to be under significantly more pressure, and it's going to be a lot harder for him to operate against Von and company.
Every time we say this is the game of the week, it's going to be so high scoring. It's like 1 touchdown each for both teams. Like, come
4
on.
is a lot. 4 is
a lot. 4 is a lot. We're not that lucky. Okay, well, I'm kind of bummed we're done talking about this game, but you know what else we have got to bring us back? Brady and Rodgers. We are spoiled in week 3. Just when you thought the week couldn't get better, look at that. Packers, Bucks. Not only does Patrick have the Packers covering, he's got them winning 23-21. Greg, what about you?
Sneaky move by Patrick. He gets to go first with every pick. Andy doesn't have to show up.
Oh, he's giving us the thumbs up. Look at that.
I have the Buccaneers winning this game. I have faith in this Todd Bowles defense. I have it 24-21. In the back end, look, this is a Todd Bowles show. I mean, we've been enjoying the Bowles for a few years. And you know what he loves more than anything is great defensive backs. Jamel Dean is playing like an all-pro. They gave that money to Carlton Davis because he plays so physical. They're making great plays on the ball. Antoine Winfield. Every position here is so good in the secondary that it frees Todd up to just really Bowles it out. You know what I mean? To just like go crazy with those blitz packages, to stay up till 3 in the morning, creating those schemes because he knows they got it covered in the back end. And I think without Sammy Watkins in this game for Green Bay, they're not going to be worried about what's happening in man coverage. I think the secondary of the Bucs wins it for him.
I mean, Todd Bowles is also masterful at stopping the run, which is probably even a bigger key to this one. However, I don't think that's enough. I think in this game, 23-21 Packers win in a surprise. Who is actually playing for Tom Brady? Unfortunately, they are without a lot of people that are important, and Tom Brady has a bit of a trend. Early in this season, he likes to target his slot guys. You know who's not here? Gronk. You know who's not here? Chris Godwin. You know who else is not here? Mike Evans. So without these options, if you look to see, by the way, 0 touchdowns and 1 interception to slot receivers so far this season. Last season, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions through the first 2 games. So that interior position.
Can I interest you in a little Cole Beasley off the practice squad? He slid into Tom Brady's DMs right onto the field.
You know what? Yep. You can.
You can try.
I'll see him out there.
I will listen.
I will listen to you, but I don't think that will be enough. And I do think that this Green Bay defense will look a little bit more like we saw against the Bears week 2, or than week 1.
I had this game way closer, and I changed my score this morning. I'm going Bucks 27
Ooh,
to
we're
21.
split.
Okay, thank you.
You know, Brady started this season. He's like, I'm not practicing on Wednesdays. So I'm going to spend my time with my family. Guess who's at practice on Wednesday? Tom Brady, okay? He is preparing for this game. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, GOAT versus GOAT. It is going to be so funny. I know that the beginning of the season, Aaron Rodgers was just like, I'm going to give my offense some time to figure it out. But eventually, they're going to have to figure it out. Last week, Aaron Jones turned into a wide back. He had a rushing touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown. But other than that, how many options does he have? I still want to watch this offense for a couple more weeks, and I'm going to rely on the GOAT, Tom Brady, to win this one.
You know, I watched the two of them, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, play golf together.
Yes,
and you
did.
You know who won that?
You worked there.
Aaron.
I did work that. Aaron sunk that putt. Holy, like that guy was,
Cool
he
under
was
pressure.
locked in.
Ice
He
in
was
the
locked
veins.
in.
Point, but you know who's won a lot of more meaningful football games, including against each
We
other?
talk about golf all day.
That's Tom
We talk about
Brady.
golf all day.
Tom Brady.
Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go, Tom Brady. Okay, coming up after the break, we are going to talk Rams-Cardinals. Who is going to come out a champion in that game? Are Rams getting back on track? Are the Cardinals getting back on track? We don't know. We're going to talk about it after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, NFL Plus is the league's new exclusive video streaming subscription service. NFL Plus has your game day covered with live, local, and primetime regular season and postseason games right on your phone or tablet. NFL Plus is available in the NFL app and at NFL.com. Subscription plans start at just $4.99 a month, and fans can visit plus.nfl.com and sign up for a free trial of NFL Plus today. Okay. You can use NFL Plus to listen to our guy, MJD, call the Rams-Cardinals game on Sunday. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite on the road. Patrick likes them by a touchdown. Sin, are you going big on the Rams as well? What do you like?
I think that the Rams win, but I think that they keep it closer. I think it's 26-24. That's what comes up most often.
That's fun.
The model always loves the Cardinals, I've noticed over the years.
Who won last week?
The Cardinals?
Big comeback.
Well, look, part of the reason why I have the Rams winning is because of Matthew Stafford against the blitz. No quarterback has been stronger against the blitz since the beginning of last season, a 139.2 passer rating. You know what inexplicably happened the first week? Well, the smart of the Bills not to blitz at all, right? Mm-hmm. It really worked. Mm-hmm. And then Arizona, they decided to blitz Kansas City over 50% of the time. That didn't make any sense, right? So if they keep blitzing, it's going to be a long day for the Cardinals defense. So I think what happens here is they smarten up a little bit. They don't blitz. They drop back into coverage. And we see Matthew Stafford have to still use Cooper Kupp. Still a monstrous game for both of those two, but be a little bit smarter when it comes to games.
I'm a little worried when the model has the game so close, and I don't, because I have the Rams winning this game comfortably by 10 points, and it's partly because of Sean McVay.
Oh, wow, 10!
He owns the Cardinals.
He does.
He is 6-1 against Cliff Kingsbury. They've scored more than 30 points in 5 of those games. And you know when you're at a job for a while, and it's like, he's already been to the top of the mountain, you need new challenges. Like Cynthia, it's like, you used to do 1 million simulations, now what do? 3 million simulations? Right? Like, you just need a new challenge. Like, that was Sean McVay a week ago with his fullback, Bobby Skwarnik. And you're like, oh, fullback. I thought that guy was a wide receiver. No, he's 225 pounds, and he put him at fullback for the first 5 plays of the game. And you're like, oh, that's just kind of cute. Like, they weren't all, like, massive plays. If you look at the yards per play when Skwarnik was at fullback, compared to all the rest of the plays in the game. And it was 19 snaps. It was not a small amount of snaps. They were really effective, and the Falcons didn't know what hit him. And what I mean in the larger scheme of things is like, Sean McVay's still getting inspired by the game of football.
What happened at the end of that game?
He's still feeling like it's beautiful.
Wait,
the offense was doing fine. They're putting up points, and they'll put up points.
Did you just want to like flex on me that you knew how to say the fullback's name?
I still don't know if I said it wrong.
I
said it like different every single time.
I'm with you though, Greg. I've got the Rams winning by a larger number than what Sin's got. But you know, last week they looked kind of a mess against the Falcons. The Falcons almost came back and won that game. Sean McVay, after the game in his post-game press conference, said, "I need several drinks after that happened." So I do think that they're going to come back with a vengeance. But then you also have to take into account the Cardinals winning that game in the way that they did. That was like a spank on the bum. Like, that is the kind of game and the kind of win that, like, excuse me, but gets a team, like, pumped up. Like, let's go. We've got this. Now we're back into a rhythm. So I can see this game being close, but I guess I trust Sean McVay a little bit more.
Sport? Like, do you have a spank on the bum?
Do you have a spank on the bum? Yeah, is that into, do you put that into your computer?
That's a different model. For a different day.
Okay, let's play a little this guy or that guy. Greg, you're up this time. Both these quarterbacks had bounce-back games last week. Do you think either of them throws for 3 touchdowns this week? We got Matt Stafford and
3
Kyler Murray.
is a lot. But yes, I think Matthew Stafford
Whoa,
can do it in
let's
this
go.
matchup. Not only because my daughter Ellis needs it for her fantasy team.
Ellis.
Let's pick it up, Stafford.
Ellis.
The matchup's great. It's why I picked the Rams, not just because Sean McVay's inspired. This Cardinals defense, to me, is a mess. They just don't have enough talent, and I think they're searching for high-risk strategies where they send a lot of blitzes or they change it up play to play, and that can't work game after game. And they've shown Raheem Morris does not have the answer for Sean McVay over the years.
What do you think? Do you
Vance
think either of these get over 3?
Coordinator.
I do actually think that Matthew Stafford has a very big game. I don't know about, to be honest with you, I don't know about 3, but I do think that it is a really large, it's a very significant game. If you play DFS, you would be loading up on lots of shares of Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp.
Let's just hope it's better than the one that they played last year because that was a stinker. Okay, you know who I hope throws from 9 touchdowns this
9.
week because he's back and it's awesome. Jimmy G!
Here's a play action by Garoppolo. Looks left, going to throw wide open. Rostwelly. He'll take it 5. Rostwelly will dive for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco. Welcome back, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Welcome back, Jimmy Garoppolo. I tried to build all this hype for Jimmy, and here comes Patrick. What were you going to say?
Well,
Patrick's already picking against him.
The body isn't even cold with Trey Lance. A little respect
let's just get
for
excited.
him.
No, we do respect. We love Trey Lance on the show, but let's get a little excited for Jimmy G. What does Patrick have? I didn't see his score. Patrick's going with the Broncos, I believe, 24-21. Cynthia, what do you like this one?
Well, I want to talk about Jimmy G and the fact that their Super Bowl chances just increased with Jimmy G.
Let's go.
Jimmy G being back is a good thing for
Buy
them.
in.
Why? You saw that highlight. Play action and intermediate passes. You know who's really good at intermediate passes? That'd be Jimmy G. When I look to also see where the weaknesses of this Broncos defense are, typically I wouldn't say this, but they're missing Justin Simmons. That's a big safety miss that's not there. And Pat Surtain is banged up. Pat Surtain is an awesome corner, and they don't have him. And that's going to be good things for, I believe George Kittle is back. That's the last thing I saw.
Sounds like it.
And Deebo Samuel as well. So those intermediate passes are where he has that zing. That is his bread and butter, especially using play action. So it's a good Jimmy G return game. I don't know about nine touchdowns. Feels like a little much.
I like Jimmy G, but when did he become an exciting quarterback? He's a nice guy.
He's a Super Bowl. Okay, you almost took them to another Super Bowl with a fractured.
Okay.
No, you're all Geno Smith is good, but Jimmy G is not.
I'm just saying the 49ers win this game, but it's not because of Jimmy G. And they would have been fine with Trey Lance. They're going to win it because of Nick Bosa and Ebukam and Arik Armstead. Hopefully he plays in this game. He is banged up. And Javon Kinlaw. Russell Wilson
name dropper.
has gotten protected quite well through 2 weeks, right? The Broncos offensive line quietly has been awesome for him, but it's because of the matchups. Now you're going to play a big boy defense. The 49ers got after Geno. I think this is a hurtful tape that they're showing me, though. They're like, oh, look how many times they sacked Geno Smith. It was ugly, but I really think they're the best front seven in the entire NFL, and they're going to get after Russell.
Explain to me how you love Geno, but you're meh on Jimmy G.
Geno's a lovable character. Jimmy's a lovable character.
They're both lovable.
Okay, that's fair.
Buy in.
I'm just saying I want Geno to get the experiences, the chances.
Okay, well, I've actually got some tape to show you that I think you'll buy in more. I am going 49ers. I'm going 49ers 27-24. Look at what happened when Jimmy G came back into the game. Look at how excited everyone is and how pumped everyone feels. No matter what you think about Jimmy, you got to listen to what the locker room is saying. They love him. He has been there for 6 years now? Kyle Shanahan, I know he has been on and off and saying that he's in and saying that he's out, and the offseason was weird. Look at Kittle, excited. This is a team that's going to have fun for the rest of the season. And like I said, he took him to a Super Bowl. He almost took him to a second one with a banged-up throwing hand, mind you. Buy in. Come on.
Okay, I'm in.
Thank you. Okay, coming up after the break, you're definitely bought in on this next scene. Philly Eagles, let's talk about them taking on the Commanders. You love you some Jalen Hurts,
do.
huh?
It's stop bullying me about Jimmy G.
Don't go anywhere. More Game Day View after this.
Let's see how many names we could get in for Greg. All
right, time for the Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz. You heard Rich. He said Jimmy G's back. Rich is bought in. You need to be bought in.
I never would argue with Rich.
Hey, good news for the Titans and Raiders. Somebody's got to win, right? Well, actually, I guess not, because the Titans are in the AFC South, and teams have been known to play for ties. Don't you do it, Mike Vrabel. Don't do it to us. Have some self-respect. The Raiders are favored. Patrick doesn't care. He has taken the Titans 21-17. Greg, please no ties. Don't do this.
I don't have a tie, although I did flip my pick midweek, not mid-show like you did in the A block.
I'm going brave enough to do it mid-show.
Yes, and I enjoyed it. Raiders win this game. I just think they're better. Like,
come on, yes.
Yes, the Titans always get it together here and have surprising wins when they have a lot of injuries, and they do. They're without Taylor Lewan. But if you look at their running game right now and what Derrick Henry is not doing, it's like an identity crisis. It's like the Titans have been one way forever, right? And it's like, this is who we are. We're big, strong men getting off the bus. We look better than every team getting off the bus. We're just gonna push you around, and eventually we're gonna push you to the ground. And it's just not working anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have A.J. Brown. The defense, especially in the back end, to me is a mess. And Derrick Henry can't look like Derrick Henry when the offensive line is getting beaten play after play. And I watch this Raiders team, and I know they found ways to lose, but I think this is a pretty good team. This should be a makings of
They've
a
all
good
been
team.
close games.
I'm picking them.
What do you like?
I have the opposite. I have a tie. Just kidding.
Oh, no!
It's not a tie. It's a 1-point win, though,
latte.
in favor of the Titans, which actually surprised me a little bit, mostly because when I look to see what happens to Derek Carr when he is pressured, and then I see Jeffrey Simmons coming, and I think about all of the ways where you talk about that high risk, high reward defenses not having a lot of luck necessarily. You talked about that with the Cardinals actually here. And I think it's kind of the opposite. I think that when Davante Adams gets shut down, and Kevin Byard is good, he's maybe a bit underrated in terms of safety play overall. I think that's going to be a lot harder challenge with a bunch of pressure for Derek Carr than it seems, and they need a little bit of that run game. So I think we do see the return of kind of normal Derrick Henry situations, normal Derrick Henry sort of numbers in this one.
Yeah, because I've been waiting for him to heat up. I know he had a touchdown last week, but he had 25
it was
yards?
On,
it was nothing.
on a very short yardage.
It was
play.
crazy. Is this one of the circumstances that your model is saying something, but your gut is telling you something else?
It is. For whatever reason, I just feel like it's going to be very hard. I look at this Raiders team and I'm like, high risk, high reward. It's either going to go, they're going to have one of those deep plays connect, and Davante Adams will have 3 touchdowns or something crazy. That's what my gut tells me, but the math goes with.
The vibes will be terrible in Las Vegas.
The vibes will be terrible. Okay. I'm going Raiders 24-20 if they lose this game, you said. We were talking before the show, and we said this is a game that either Derrick Henry absolutely goes off or balls out, or also Davante Adams could absolutely go off and ball out. I have it close. I'm not super stoked about this one. I feel like it's kind of a stay away, but I'm going to pick the Raiders. Okay, it is time for another This Guy or That Guy. Not great weeks for Davante Adams and Derrick Henry, as we were just saying last week. Didn't someone say on this show last week that Davante Adams was going to have a huge game? Didn't someone say that?
Yes.
Was it you?
I don't remember saying. Oh, okay.
It was me, Andy, at 12 yards. Okay. Anyways, which one of these guys scores on Sunday?
Look, I would have thought Davante Adams had a huge game too, but
Thank you.
It's not what happened. However, I do think that Derrick Henry has a nice opportunity here to score. He is their short yardage red area guy. This is the one that they rely on. He did have a touchdown. You pointed it out against the Bills and their very, very difficult defense. For the most part, that Monday game, you have to throw out 3/4 of the data from that game because remember, Case Keenum even went in there, so it was not like they were playing a very competitive one here. So in my opinion, Derrick Henry has over 100 on the ground, and then he has a touchdown at least.
Do you feel any which way about this?
I'm not trusting Derrick Henry right now. And it's or their line, there's no Luan, there's injuries. It's just, they don't feel like
they played without Luan a lot last year too, so
they'll be all right. All right, we are all in agreement on 6 games this week. Everyone is riding with the Saints. 6, okay? The Chiefs, which probably says as much about them as it does
I have a closer
Colts.
one with the Chiefs and the Colts, I think.
Okay, already covered the Bills. We're all back in Baltimore's corner. The Bengals have to win eventually, right? What do we say? I think we're 9-6-1.
I think the Jets could be a little spicy here.
We're 9-6-1 on meme alerts.
That's not good.
That's not good.
That's actually really bad.
That means the favorites are doing something.
Need to do
right?
better. We need more workouts.
No, thank you. We are also in agreement on the Eagles over the Commanders. Greg, your preseason pick to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I've got them covering and winning by 10. Sin has them by 8. That maniac Patrick has them by 2. And you have got them by a touchdown.
I've got it by 7 because the Commanders are kind of frisky here, especially when they trail in games. We saw them come back against the Jaguars. We saw them come back against the Lions and score a lot of points. But ultimately, I don't think their defense and all the communication issues that they had a week ago is going to be able to stand up to Jalen Hurts and this offense, because this Eagles offense tests your communication. There's different options on every play, whether it's a run or whether it's a pass. You have so many guys in the box trying to stop Jalen Hurts.
Guys, these are Lions highlights. It makes me so happy.
Go Lions.
It's been a while.
Okay, well, since Jalen Hurts did it with his arm and his legs a week ago, will he do it again this week?
I think technically my answer is no, because it's 2. So 2 through the air and 1 on the ground. So yeah, he'll do it, but then he'll improve upon that as well. I think Jalen Hurts is showing us a really strong outing. 1, 2, now 3 times. Perhaps an early MVP look here if you want to pivot off the Josh Allen.
I was telling people take him in the first round of fantasy. They're no, you can't take quarterbacks. Come on.
Well, why would you have taken him in the first round of a fantasy draft if you could have gotten him later?
Because you just take who you want. Be happy in life.
Be
the
happy
fantasy
in life.
experts,
Choose the teams that you want to win.
They don't
Choose
know
the players
anything.
you want to root
They don't
for.
know anything.
Well, I'm a fantasy expert, and I know a few things. So,
all right, we are also taking the Bengals, but the spread is 5.5. I am taking the Bengals to win, but I actually like the Jets to keep it close. This was another spank on the bum win. You know what I mean? Last week, this is. I need to trademark this. A spank on the bum win.
I don't know.
But also, I
don't think
Joe
anyone
Burrow,
else has.
Listen to this. Joe Burrow
I think it's
deleted.
available.
Joe Burrow's deleted his Instagram, his Twitter. I think he's in his head a little bit. I think that the social media, the people are getting to him. I don't love that. He's young. He's influenced by other things. So I feel like the Jets kind of keep this close. I want the Bengals to win. I want this team to get on track. They're so much fun.
Like Joe Flacco is one of the leaders in passing yardage so far. This could be
There's 2 quarterbacks that have thrown for 300 yards at least in each week. Joe Flacco and Carson Wentz, just like we all drew it up.
I don't want to live in a world where the Bengals
like
are
we
0-3, though. They're too likable.
What's going to happen? Greg, you've got the Ravens beating the Patriots, but I see a Patriots cover with that score.
I think the Patriots showed us something last week at the end of the game, the way they ran the ball against Pittsburgh. The new scheme is starting to work, and the way that the Ravens secondary totally collapsed. They're playing 3 rookies. We think Marcus Peters is Marcus Peters because it's got the name on the back of the jersey, but he hasn't played in a year and a half, coming off a big injury. Marlon Humphrey's banged up, and I'm telling you, in a league where everyone is playing 2 deep safeties, teams that can run, like your Lions, Cynthia, and maybe my Patriots eventually, I think will be a little better than people think. It'll be close.
Sin, you like the Ravens too?
I do like the Ravens. When I look at this matchup and I look to see who's going to score the touchdown, I think it's going to be, you have to remember, the Patriots secondary is not the normal Patriots secondary.
Yes.
So it's both secondaries here are a little vulnerable. So maybe like a nice Bateman touchdown here.
Oh, I like it. All right, time for quick picks. That's enough with all the agreement, okay? It's time to mix things up a bit. Texans, Bears, all of us like the Bears.
The Texans?
It's Greg.
Oh, I'm taking
Just
the
Greg.
Texans. I don't know. Yeah, this is just Greg. You know who's 3-0 in picks this year? Just Greg. That's right.
Oh, relax.
Every time I'm on my own with an underdog, they come through. Justin Fields has completed 8 passes this year ahead of the line of scrimmage. I think we have a tape of some of them. I mean, there's so few. We could actually roll the whole tape. This is his entire season of passes past the line of scrimmage. You can't win in the NFL that way. They ran it 64 times and passed it 28. It's silly. I think the Texans are a little frisky.
Sin, you do have a very close game.
I know. I like how I acted like it was such a big deal. But
How dare you pick against the 2022 Chicago Bears?
I just wanted to poke Greg a little bit, but I think this is a huge David Montgomery game, to be honest with you. I think it's less about the passing necessity, and I think it's more about like big David Montgomery, like fantasy David Montgomery. That is one of my favorite ones for the entire.
You guys better hope the Bears win this game.
Well,
because if
I know you're
Greg,
gonna be insufferable. Thank God I'm in London next week.
Just Greg gets to 4-0, it's over for you guys.
He's going to be insufferable.
Good point.
They were
okay, now it is your turn, Sin. How about the Lions and Vikings? I don't know why are you doing this to yourself? I thought you were a proud Michigander. You've lived through a lot of bad days as a Lions fan.
Enjoy this.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Listen, I don't choose with my heart. I choose with the math. And
no, you're smart.
This is not. Would I like the Lions to win? Absolutely. But when I look at this team, I think this is Justin Jefferson. He goes off for multiple touchdowns.
Whoa.
I'm doing you, right?
Greg,
Oh, that's
you have
me?
really. Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
that's
that was
you. The
Dan
point?
Campbell. That was so like masculine and
I was
strong.
trying to be
more
you.
of that.
Was, you just literally did the same thing.
Greg, you have a very high-scoring game here. What's that about?
Hey, look at us picking the Lions here as heavy
Let's
underdogs,
go.
Rachel. I think they're made for high-scoring games. They're so aggressive
They're
defensively
fun right now.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's getting it done. DeAndre Swift
Sun
getting it
God.
done. Like, I think this is you have to admit, as a Lions fan, this is the first time in a long time. I think they have a weekly advantage schematically because of their coaches. I think this is a great coaching staff.
I'm all in on the coaching staff. Unfortunately, the players have to play the game.
Oh boy. Okay. NFL Knockout presented by Caesar Sportsbook is a free-to-play game on NFL.com. Win an exclusive VIP trip to experience the 2023 Pro Bowl, the 2023 NFL Draft, or Super Bowl 57 weekly. Answer 10 questions about
Lady,
Sunday's games.
Hey.
And top the leaderboard to win a
that
trip
hair.
of a lifetime. Visit NFL.com/knockout to sign up, play, and win. All right. Seahawks. Falcons. Hey, Greg, how you doing? It's Gino. It's going down.
Gino won his Super Bowl week 1. I don't know if you guys saw it. The most watched Monday Night Football game ever. Gino won it.
We love Geno Smith on this show. We're going to talk about him after this. Don't go anywhere.
And Jimmy G.
And Jimmy G, of course. Oh, I know. It's Stephon Diggs. Let's do the math. I told you earlier I wasn't done talking Bills Dolphins. If you've got the wide receivers in this game, start them. Were you on the fence about that? Probably not. If you were, consider not being in a fantasy league again next year. Sin, you are a bit lower on the Jalen Waddle of it all than FanDuel.
Yeah, it's those deep passes. Now, I want to point out Tyreek Hill is #1 in the NFL in yards after the catch. And then #2 is actually also Jalen Waddle, teammate.
Wow.
So it's really interesting that both of them are in such elite company. However, I think that it is a different beast when it comes to this Bills defense. You have all that pressure up front. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be quite the same day in terms of production for a guy like Waddle, who doesn't have kind of the same situation with speed as a Tyreek Hill, who has all of that experience. So it's no slight to him. It's a pro to the Bills defense.
Greg, weren't you just bragging about the fact on commercial break that you've actually perfected the Waddle? Do you care to show everyone at home?
I never said that.
No, I think you actually
never
did.
Said that. You
And
said I was
I
going
think
to
you
stand
even
up.
told our audience.
I'm happy
can you
to
fix
stand up. I mean, I'll do a little.
I think it's got to be a little
I just want these
faster.
shoes. I did.
He didn't say that, you guys.
That
and I'm
was
sorry
so
that you all
bad.
had to see that.
You asked
I'm
for it.
actually really
shoes.
sorry
I like
that you
the
had to
shoes,
see
though.
that.
Yeah,
Those are some.
these
Those
should
shoes.
be in
Those are
the-
great.
Okay,
Those
it's
shoes are
time for
great.
over-under. Enough about that. Here are the biggest over-unders of the week. 3 games over 50 points,
I
for
hope
what
you're
it's
happy
worth.
with yourself.
There were 6 games over 50 points last week. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. It's just some math I did before the show. Okay, so we've got Lions at Vikings, Bills at Dolphins. You get the picture. We've got 2 games left that we haven't hit on. Falcons Seahawks is one of them. The over-under is 41.5.
Look, we have new stuff.
I've
Yeah,
got
let
the
us
Seahawks.
know. Let us know.
Yeah.
No fingers. Now we've
Is
got.
this
a
as
little-
exciting as the foam fingers? I don't know. I have got the under here, I believe. Greg, what do you have?
I also am going under. 18-17 is going to be the final score of every Seahawks game, or something close to it. There's no way this thing's going over. They love long, slow drives. That means low scoring.
Sim, what do you like?
I like the over on this one. I have 21-22. So Falcons win 22-21 in this matchup. Why? Well, when I look at my guy Cordero Patterson, and he has a great opportunity here. They give up, top 3 in rushing yards given up to running backs and receptions given up to running backs, along with receiving yards given up to running backs.
Pete Carroll did
see
say
the overhitting.
Yeah,
The
Pete Carroll
Falcons have
did
put up,
say
It's
like
a
he was
low
going to let
number.
Geno cook this week. He
you
like
can't
he's-
say Russ Cooks and Geno Smith. You can't. You got to
But
find something
is
else.
the kitchen in Seattle? Because then wouldn't the person who's in Seattle be the
gotta
person
find
who
something
cooks?
else.
I'm very confused.
Okay, and Patrick's going under. The last game of Week 3, Monday Night Football, Cowboys-Giants, the soon-to-be 3-0 Giants. Can it be? I think they win it 21-17. 21 plus 17 equals 38. See, I'm
Good
at
job.
math too, Cynthia. I'm going under. Greg, what do you like?
I am sticking at under. I think this could be way under. I think this could be like no touchdowns scored. I have 14-9 in this game, if we're going with the score prediction. Micah Parsons in the house that Lawrence Taylor built, to me is the best edge rusher we've seen come into the league since then. And it could be one of those primetime games where they just spend the last hour talking about Micah Parsons. He's just that good.
Sim, what do you like?
I think that it's going to be 21-20 in this matchup. So that's 41 points. So I guess I'm an over in this one. Interestingly enough, the 21 goes to the Giants. And the 20 goes to the Cowboys.
Giants' offense has quietly been a hot mess. I know they're 2-0, but like that's one of the worst 2-game stretches of Daniel.
Did you guys see the Jerry Jones interview that happened this week? He's just like, if there was a quarterback dilemma, I would love that. And then Mike McCarthy was just like, there's no quarterback dilemma. Dak's our quarterback. Let's stop talking about this. And then Patrick also has the under as well. Can you flip that for him, Sins, just so we can get a... There you go, Patrick. Good job.
Oh.
Fail. That didn't work. All right, we saw
I fixed it. Show it.
Crazy finishes in week 2.
No? Okay, fine.
Proving the point that anything can happen in this league, which is why there are some games this weekend that are giving us pause.
Okay.
Which ones? Well, that's next. You're going to have to wait and see. Okay? Okay.
I mean, you could have warned me about the Waddle thing, you know?
You literally yelled it at the top of your lungs. I'm so good at doing the waddle, everyone.
Buffalo's stingy downfield pass defense means the Dolphins will look to utilize Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle more in the short passing game, setting up opportunities for them to create after the catch. Look for the Bills to stay in too high, similar to how they've defended the Chiefs in prior seasons, to keep everything in front of them. The problem with that, Hill leads all wide receivers this season with 115 yards after the catch, while Waddle ranks second with 111. Both receivers haul in 6 receptions according to my projections for this game. Hill for 72 yards and Waddle for 60. But it's Hill who finds the end zone against this dominant Bills defense.
And the Dolphins have come back!
For my full game preview, including player, final score, and win probability projections, start your free trial with NFL Plus today.
All right, Ghost and Go. I'll subscribe just for Cynthia. There you go.
That looks
Let's call
awesome.
it in the air, shall we? Greg, half the games are within 3 points on FanDuel this week. What is a game you went back and forth on this week? I feel like there's already plenty we've been talking about.
I know. I talked about a few. I'm actually going with one that I believe is at 6.5. And where I'm going back and forth is that number. I know Eagles fans are just looking at this matchup and thinking it's going to be easy, but I don't know. And I'm just talking about the number. I think Eagles will enjoy this win, but just enjoy the win. Don't necessarily expect it to be by at least a touchdown because of that Commanders offense, which is really aggressive and really hard to defend. It's a short week for Philadelphia. They're on the road here. They're coming off a primetime high. And like I said, I think if the Commanders fall down a couple scores, they could sneak in the back door at the very end. So I have a hard time knowing who's going to win it in terms of the margin. Just stay away and enjoy the game if
There
you're
you go.
Wow.
Let's not forget Carson Wentz threw 4
Like, you are a
touchdowns
wordsmith.
week 1.
I really threaded that needle.
You really are a word. Like, that's impressive. That was like really, you were really showing your chops there.
Cynthia, what's your call it in the air?
I'm not anywhere near as eloquent as my friend Greg here, but I think you're actually picking the Texans and I have the Bears, but I think this game could go either way. Brandon Cooks, when I look to see how efficient he's been, like people forget about him for fantasy, and I'm a fantasy expert, so we should obviously be telling people what's going on with fantasy. But when I look at this game and I look at this matchup, both defenses have had some strengths and some vulnerabilities, and then both offenses have shown me a lot of interesting looks, so I don't feel comfortable picking one. I mean, I've seen Davis Mills play really well. I've seen not so much. I've seen the O-line let them down for both teams, so this one feels about as coin flippy as it gets.
I totally agree. And I picked the Texans, and I'm
But you had it
excited.
close, too.
I'm excited I'm by myself on it because to me it's a coin flip game. So I'm glad that the 3 of you are on one
sticking
team,
your
but
neck out.
This is a game to stay away from.
I'm going to talk about the Chargers-Jags game. Just for the record, a lot of people are like, oh, you picked the Chargers to be your new team, yet you haven't picked them to win at all ever. I had the Chargers going into this one, but I just think there are too many question marks about the health of their quarterback. I think maybe by the time you're watching this, Justin Herbert's either playing or he's not. It's not looking good right now. I just want to say, what a boss that he stayed in this game and kept on playing, even though he was clear he was extremely hurt. This just makes me want to buy into this team and this kid even more. He just loves this game so much, and he stayed in it. They couldn't win it.
I mean, I guess they didn't have any chance to win the game, and now he is questionable for this week. Sometimes you gotta, Be a little smarter, Chargers.
Take him out for sure, but I don't know, I just love
Maybe
seeing
no
that he was
Keenan
in
Allen
there.
in this game, too. They both could come down to the wire. So
Exactly.
That leaves
I'm
it
staying away. I'm staying away. Chargers, I love you. Last week showed us that nobody knows anything.
Nope.
Okay? Well, except the three of us, because we're experts. So get out your notebooks, get out your pens. Does anyone have a pen and paper at home anymore? Write it on your phone, whatever. We've got something for you to write down right after this. Don't go anywhere. I want a big game from Devontae Adams.
Carr looking this side down the sideline, incomplete. That's incomplete. Throwing up the middle, incomplete.
I'm undefeated and write this down.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know,
Relax.
because I went with Geno Smith a week ago, and I'm going with him again.
Over the middle, and it is deflected and picked off.
3 turnovers, 2 interceptions of Geno Smith.
Write this down. Cordero Patterson. Cordero Patterson is going to score again this week against the Rams.
The give is to Patterson, and Cordero Patterson will not get there.
Devontae Smith will get in the end zone. Devontae scores on Monday night.
Hurts. Watkins wide open to the end zone for the touchdown.
This is what we're feeling real good about this week. Very interesting. It's time to write this down. And you know what? I got something to write down. Don't trust our producers. They are rude and actually very mean. Interesting. Okay, so we had a bad week.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, it wasn't good at the end. That was really funny.
But you know what? I'm not going to let that stop us from doing it again. So it's time to write this down. I really like this one. I want it to be high scoring. How high does the scoreboard go in Miami? High. I want over 1.5 touchdowns for both Tua Tagovailoa.
I love that.
And Josh Allen. I want chaos. 1.5. That's like nothing. Okay, I scored
You asked me about
between them
4
last
earlier.
week.
You asked me about 4.
That's easy. That's stealing.
I want this. I want this high-scoring game. Greg, what do you got?
Okay, so I know we struggled last week in Write This Down,
Sure
but
we did.
we've made it this far with unearned confidence, and we're going to go even further. Lions.
Let's go!
Dan Campbell. They're going to keep it within 6 points at the very least. I'm giving it to that close. I mean, there's one Lions fan here, but Rachel and I are the ones that picked them this week. They're going at it.
It says something that I asked my mom to try to find me a picture of me in Lions gear, and she couldn't find it within the time for the show.
Come on.
Just saying.
This is an anti-Vikings pick, too.
Jared,
Not believing in that.
Okay, well, whatever. All right. Cordero Patterson didn't score last week, but you know what? I'm going to go back to that
Double
Cordero
down.
Patterson
Let's
route.
go.
You know why? Because this is a very generous Seahawks defense to opposing running backs. And when you look at all of the different ways he could score through the air and on the ground, look, we're doubling down here. It's a Martindale strategy, you know?
At what point in the season, Sin, will you buy back into your Lions? Because I don't want to put you on blast, but I've seen you wearing some really cool vintage Lions gear.
I am always a Lions fan.
You are
Always
a huge fan.
I am always a Lions fan, but I do all these things blind. Like it just comes up with.
Is the model a Lions fan?
The model is a fan of the model's a robot. It doesn't have feelings.
Whoa, it's not going to like hearing that because it's definitely listening on one of these.
I'm afraid of the model.
The model, we love you. We love you, model. Game Debut is back next Friday. Greg and I are going to be across the pond.
See ya.
We'll
I'll
miss
just
you
be
then.
here alone.
We love you. We'll miss you.
Just
We'll see
me
you
and
in a couple
Patrick.
weeks.
You know,
Adios.
just me and Patrick.